starting. I don't know. We just make it up as we go along. There we go. And in case anybody is wondering, anybody out there, we're not sure how many are out there at the moment. That was a clip earlier today, recorded earlier today by Gunnar David Smith at the Emirates. He was one of the lucky, was it 10,000 or 20,000? I can't remember. Who got a 10, who won a golden ticket. I need to show the golden ticket. I want to show what the golden ticket looks like. Let me just see if I can figure
You
out.
sure it was gold and not wood or something like that?
I don't know. It's like, you know, I don't know if Arsenal counts as the chocolate, if the Emirates counts as the chocolate factory. They just see.
Is he going up and drink his glass
Did
elevator?
you have a way though?
Let me just see if I can. I need to see. This is what happens. It's Sunday. The graphics team have not been on the game today. No, wrong clip. There we go. It doesn't look golden. It looks black with a bit of red. But anyway.
Yeah.
So at least we got someone into the stadium today. And so, Lameez, you do the welcome. I'm just trying to sort out. There's the welcome. Put your heart in
There
it,
we
mummy.
go. Who gave us that nice warm welcome then?
Well,
Welcome
good evening.
everybody. So
Yes,
this
here we go.
is our final review show for the last game of the Premier League. As you see from my status tonight, I am so happy the season is over. Your undertakes the outfit, all in black. Very happy to say goodbye and bury the season. But welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And of course, tonight we've got a bumper panel. We've got our two young guns, Yaaseen and Chezlin. So I'll get them to come and say hello to you too. Guys, do you want to just lead the fans out there for your young guns too that are watching?
Give us the
Hey,
grand
everyone.
faces. Give us those grand faces.
Yeah, it's good to be back on the show. Good that the season's over as well. Happy that the season's over as well. Lameez.
Yeah, nice being back after a bit of a break, and looking forward to new opportunities next season.
This one is not even done yet, and you're already just trying to put it behind you. Shocking. And then, Lameez, who else have we got?
Yeah, I actually think this panel is they probably very much like us. So I'm just going to leave it over to them. Maybe let's start with the chairman, Warren, and then we'll go around the room. Warren, you want to say hi to everybody? Thoughts?
Can you guys hear me? I said,
Yep. Yep. Can you hear you?
yeah. I echo
Shalom.
Lameez's thing. Thank God this bullshit season is over. Thank you, Jesus Almighty. I can't take any more. Thank you. Let's hand over to Morgan to give us his powerful, positive injections of whatever he's taking there.
I always rely on my stats and my blood pressure meds to lift me up. The stats suggest it wasn't so bad, even though
This
the
guy
football that we watched.
This guy is actually
terrible.
like baby green. You know the shit that comes out of a baby? It's that color. So there we go.
Okay, that is the tone of the show, people. That you can expect, right?
Yeah,
baby
of
shit.
course.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we playing bingo tonight. What is this a football? I thought it was bingo. I put my cards with me. Don't
Warren,
crap me.
based on the attitudes of the Arsenal fans, I'm saying we find our Trivial Pursuit box. One of you must have it, and we play a game of Trivial Pursuit for 30 seconds.
I heard someone calling B11. I heard B11 now. I've got B11 here.
Okay, that can only
Lizzie's
be
next B11. Lizzie's next B11.
That can only be Alex. Lameez, I'm scared as usual. Wolfie is very quiet there. Wolfie is worried that he's going to bring the tone down. But Wolfie, as you can see, Warren has set the bar this low.
Very high, very high.
No, Warren has set the bar this low.
It's it's a righteous low, and it should be fully agreed with everyone on the panel. If not, put down your headphones, whatever, switch off, and go sleep, because it was a terrible, disastrous season. Disastrous season.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're gonna leave some of that. I just want to share a little bit of news before we take a deep dive into the dark black night of the Arsenal soul. Because clearly, let me see if I can see anyone with a smile. No. Okay. Okay. So just a little bit of news of developments. I do not know how to pronounce his surname, Lameez. I tried listening to an interview, but they didn't introduce him.
He's leaving the club, so you don't need to know. It's fine. You can move on.
All I know is Joe is an Australian of Italian descent. I don't know what that means. I could make some horrible comment about they obviously didn't care where the convicts came from when they established that country, but that would be offensive, and I will not go there. Yeah. So Joe has been with the women's team for 4 years, and he's done quite well. I think he won the league title in his second season. Also got them with the FA League Cup. They're not so great, but they have qualified for next year's Women's Champions League, which is more than we've done. The men have done, and then not we, but the men have done. And then they've also still in the FA Cup, the Women's FA Cup. Okay, so shall we go with the show? Okay, there we go. David is there.
Who's it?
So
who's that? Is
that
this a lad?
David
Is David? Oh, is this a lad about? He got the award. Is this a lad?
David got a ticket.
Oh, was David at the Emirates? Oh, okay.
David was at the Emirates, and David shared. I just want to share
In the
one more.
seats.
Were there any other? Is that the expensive?
It's club level, isn't it? It's the middle tier. It's expensive.
I can't make that. But anyway, so I thought we'd share that at least. I want to share. I think this is his son. Is Jacob his son? For those who haven't watched it yet.
Tell me, is David the lad that's been following our show of late? Is the same David? The lad that
at the Emirates
that professor he won the fan award.
Yeah,
yes.
The same one. Yeah.
Is that the same David?
One.
Okay.
Yeah, he is probably the luckiest gooner in all of the world because he seems to win a lot of stuff. But so anyway, he did
tell me, just give me a second. Yeah? Is this a gooner? Is this boy a gooner?
He's been in Cape Town. He's visited.
The guy, this looks like a Man City supporter. He's got champion on his Twitter. The guy's in the wrong stadium. He's at the wrong stadium. The guy's in the wrong stadium, man. Come.
Don't worry. Don't worry. He is
the guy's in the wrong stadium, man.
So here we go. This is his little
champion
with his son.
Well, here we are with Jacob here at the Emirates Stadium in London in May today. Very difficult to believe it's May if you look at the weather out there. Jacob, what are your thoughts for today's football?
Really looking forward to it. First game in over a year.
Yep.
I think Arsenal are definitely going to win today.
What do you think the score's going to be?
3-0 win.
Okay. And so this is going to be seen by some people in South Africa. What have you got to say to our friends in Cape Town?
I hope it's not raining like it is here.
And come on you.
Come on you Gunners.
Good boy. See you later.
There we go. See, that was nice.
Well done. Yeah, beautiful. I love it. I love it. Good lad.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go back to the results. A couple of games that were of interest to us, and of course we won. There we go.
2-0
at the bottom. We'll get there, Alex. We'll get there.
Can we please
You know,
pause on
I'm
that
so glad. I'm so
moment?
bloody glad that Spurs won today, man. Yes, like it. I'm so glad.
Warren, is there some kind of suspension of memberships or anything like that?
Yes, man, yes. Come on, you Spurs. Well done, boy.
Warren, when an Arsenal fan says
Alex, can I get a high five? Alex, can I get a high five?
What?
No,
Wolfie,
not
I'll give you seven, Wolfie. I seven. I seven.
I don't want to get the Europa Conference, I will admit, but it would have been nice to finish above Spurs and not get the Europa Conference.
Yeah, but Everton screwed it up, man.
Wolfie, I'm going to mute you.
Everton were up the new.
My apologies.
Okay, so we finished 8th overall. Just a couple of things that I want you guys to keep in mind when we talk about how bad the season was. I'm going to show you some stats.
Did Everton finish 10th? Did they finish 10th?
They screwed it up against. I knew it.
Today.
Wow.
I knew it.
That 5 goals screwed him over.
Liverpool somehow finished 3rd. I did not see that happening. I did not see that coming. Liverpool finished 3rd. Leicester didn't make it into the top 4. That was a shocker. But anyway,
second
just
season running.
For the record, Arsenal conceded the 3rd least amount of goals. Only Man City and Chelsea conceded fewer goals this season.
When you're digging out this positive statistics, which one are you digging in? Which one are you digging in, sir?
Wolfie, look at the yellow numbers. Wolfie, look at the numbers in yellow. And this is despite the fact.
Hey, Morgan, is this the men's statistics or the female? What am I looking at? Is this the women's league now? Sorry, I'm confused.
We are going to continue. Lameez,
Morgan, I'm going to give you the right to put people on mute, eh? Red cards tonight.
Morgan.
Wolfie confusing us here. You confusing me, Wolfie. Saying it's women's league here.
I just want to point out
women's league here. The female league here. I thought it's a female league here. Sorry, my bad.
I just want to point out, yes, like a bunch of children. I just want to point out that we conceded only fewer goals than Man City and Chelsea, despite not keeping the most number of clean sheets. We only had 12 clean sheets. And just for those, another thing to consider, we can have the discussion later. I know a lot of people have been talking about Martinez, and as much as I love him, and I think he's done an exceptional job at Aston Villa, he did concede over the season. What was it? We conceded 39. He did concede 7 more goals over the season. Okay.
46.
Wow.
46, yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay. No, that's incredible.
So
that's really
let's talk about
shattering you.
Let's talk about the season. Do you want to talk about the game first or the season? I just want to point out.
I don't think anybody cares about the game right now.
So we had zero progress here. 8. What's up here?
Yeah. Okay. Wolfie, we won. Okay, Wolfie, we won 4 more games than last season.
14.
Scored only 1 goal less than last season. Conceded 9 goals fewer than last season.
Lost more.
But still, despite losing more,
and we know we're shit. And we know we are we're shit. And we know we are we're shit. And we know we are.
I can't tell the people.
Bingo numbers to come out. Wait, I'm waiting for I-20 to come out. Wait, it's I-20. I-20 to come in. I-20.
Yeah,
Bing.
I think Morgan, probably now is a good idea to give some of the other guys an opportunity to talk as well. So maybe let's just get, I'd love to hear some other opinions on what you thought of the season. Maybe
let's get some of the adults into the room.
Yeah, I haven't said a word yet. I didn't speak first.
Let's get some of the adults in the room to speak up. Yaaseen, guys, we have to be respectful a little bit here. Yaaseen, thoughts on the season?
It's difficult. It's very difficult to say anything positive. I am happy that we ended it on a victory, though. That's something. It's gonna be something. But otherwise, I find it very difficult to look for the positives. I really just want next season to be better. That's all I can say.
Okay. Anyone else? Chezlin? Before the peanut gallery jumps in again.
Morgan, next season we can get Chezlin for the panelists. That will make them a little bit more calm before the show starts.
Red wine. Red wine.
Yeah, red wine. No, but I agree fully with Yaaseen and with everyone. It's been an absolutely terrible season. I am not optimistic at all for next season. I think the Krinkers have shown that they're not willing to invest. They told us before that we should be excited. We've seen that they're not going to invest. So I just can't see things improving. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I can't see anything changing. Yeah, which is sad. It's actually really sad though to be a Gooner right now. Yeah.
Alex, do you concur?
Everyone wanted the season to end. I never wanted it to end. I mean, we've just gone 5 games unbeaten in the league. Kind of wanted it to go on until we lose a game. But it's not all doom and gloom, is it? 5 wins on the trot. That's the only other team that have achieved that's Liverpool. So it's a strong finish league-wise. But I mean, we've already thrown the season away anyway. But I'm quite glad that we, like I said before, I'm quite glad that we didn't take that 7th spot. I'm quite glad Tottenham have taken that poison chalice of the Europa Conference. Don't think that would have done us any favours at all. Especially when the prize is a spot in the Europa League. Brilliant. so that
in the conference league.
That's the prize. I think we should. I think it'll probably do as good. Yeah, maybe not financially over the next year because of the TV revenues or whatever, but it will give us chance to make a push for that top 4. I think whether we'll get it, I don't know. We need to buy some decent players in, build the squad out over the summer. Whether the Krinkers are going to do that, who knows? But there's certainly a lot of pressure on them, and it will be this summer transfer window will be the telling thing really for the Krinkers. They're going to have to spend quite a considerable amount of money. But then, what players are we going to get without Champions League or Europa League? Who knows? But yeah, it's not all doom and gloom. Whether Arteta's the right person, I don't know. Like I've said before, if the Krinkers spend the money and we get the right players in for Arteta, then it's proved that we can win 5 on the trot. So maybe you can carry that through into next season. Maybe some of these players will start picking up as well. Pepe's started to look like he could be a player after all. Started to use his right foot and score with his right foot as well.
Okay, I just want to know. Okay, let me go to the guys who are on yellow cards and playing in a disaster. Warren, what would have been a good season for you? It's been a terrible season, and now you have to tell me what would have been a good season for you. And your wife has given me permission.
What would have been a good season? Not being crap in the semi-final against Villarreal when the destiny was in our hands, and the entire season. It's not just 1 or 2 games. Consistently we've been poor for so long, and we've turned on the sound in the last couple of games, and the pressure was off. But I've seen that how many seasons in my lifetime now. an important, I'm actually glad that we actually missed out on that Conference League thing. I think that can work in our favor big time. Of course, it's still up to us to make it count. I think we can then focus week on week on with the squad that we have. Obviously, we're gonna I would assume we're going to get new players in. So I think that's possibly. I mean, you always want European football, but I just think it's a small sacrifice for a long-term bigger gain. So I think I'm looking forward to us just focusing on the league, playing our best 11 every week, and not stretching the squad. I think this is something that can work in our favor, and something that will most likely work against Spurs next season. So that's the one thing I'm looking forward to next season, to be honest.
Wolfie,
Yes.
how many of the starting lineup, and I'm not sure if you can remember the starting lineup, I'll share it with you just in case. How many of that starting lineup do you think you'll still have next season? I was surprised for one to see Odegaard starting. I thought to myself, why do that for a guy who's probably not going to be here? How many of those players do you expect to see in the starting lineup next season?
Look, it's I wouldn't want to see Holding in that back line next season. Maybe a signing in midfield. Maybe the guy that we played against, Mbasuma. He was quite strong, but I'd like him in our midfield. He will bring some stability in midfield, defensively. I would like us to get what's his name? I wouldn't want to take the option to buy Odegaard. I would like to go all out for Jack Grealish. Get him in there, a guy that's young, a guy that's somebody for the future, and he will play well with Smith Rowe and Pepe, Saka, and Martinelli. I would like that number 10 to come in. Aubameyang has been very, very disappointing. Pepe is really exploded the last couple of games. I think it's 7 goals in 7 games, which is very impressive. And he's shown that he's shown actually what he can do and how dangerous he can be. And he has been our go-to guy for the last couple of games now. And like I said, at the end of the day, Arteta needs to put more faith in Pepe, play more often. And at the end of the day, it's all about confidence and game time. And he might just be a good some light at the end of the tunnel for next season. If he can carry this form through to the next season, backed by the manager, puts his confidence in him, and especially with Martinelli, I'd like Martinelli to start more games. So striker-wise, I'd like to see more Balogun. I don't know what's the situation with Lacazette. I'd like us to buy a top-class striker, the guy, Danny Ings. I'd like to bring him in just to put, with Aubameyang, it's like he's complacent. He hasn't been playing well. And with Ings, if we can manage to get Ings and Jack Grealish in, I'm 100% sure we will make a top 4. 100% sure. But the Kroenkers need to. They're under tremendous pressure to invest. They need to invest. They need to back the manager financially. And we're talking about not 50 million. We're talking about at least 150 million pounds. They need to buy players of that value.
How much can you get for 150 million these days?
Otherwise, we're going to be singing the same story, and we're going to be looking at the same stats every last day of the season.
Okay. Let me just quickly jump to Naseem over there, who is hopefully calmed down now. How's it going? I want to ask you, the form over the last 11 games. I know when I first started showing this, and we asked guys for predictions as to how many points we'd get over these last 11 matches, and some of the predictions were very dire. We managed to get 23 out of 33 with wins over Spurs and Chelsea, no less. Wasn't this performance over the last 11 games a sign that maybe we are finally moving in a better direction already?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, look. Yes, I'm going to say yes, but I think it's not just the results; it's the way we're playing. I think with Arsene Wenger, we got spoiled with getting results and playing attractive football. Now, yes, we've been getting the results. I mean, if you look at that card, you can't really complain much. I mean, losing against Liverpool, I mean, they are very much better side than we are. The Everton one, that was just a mistake. So, I mean, yeah, it does change his perspective on the team, but I think it's just the way they play and the attitude you see. I mean, there's no energy you feel from them while you're watching them play. So I think that is more it. I mean, if you go back to the Villarreal performances, they were just totally dead. There was absolutely nothing, no fight in them. And I think that's more the issue where fans are concerned. I mean, fans have shown their passion through the protests online. Everybody, I mean, we show that we care about the club. And I think that is what resonates with the fans. It's just nothing there. You don't see, you just don't see no light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, also looking at that team, I mean, you look at that team and say, well, it's a half decent side. I mean, the only person I could see that I would take off the side today is probably Odegaard and swapping around with the Jack Grealish or the guy from Norwich, one of the two. And then you must still think Saka must still come into that side. So it's not a bad side. Look, Rob Holding is not going to be your number one defender. I think Pablo Mari is probably better than him. And then there's still Saliba that needs to come in there. So from squad's perspective, I think we've got an okay team. The question is, it's up to the manager to get the best out of them. So with Arteta, if he can get the backup for left back, get another right back in, get Grealish or the Norwich guy in, I think Lacazette will go, so we'll probably need another striker just to push Aubameyang. And I think that's basically what we need for the squad. And then it's all up to Arteta to put it all together. And if he can't do it by December, I mean, if we in the same position we were last year December, then I think it's time for him to go. So we need to, by December, with proper signings, which I'm doubtful we'll get, but by December we should be up there in the top 4. And that's all we can do. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Chezlin, Naseem was talking about how poorly we've played, and we've very often, for large parts of games, been very poor. Was there anything different in tonight's game? The first half, perhaps? I don't know.
Second half, definitely. So, yeah, I think what Naseem and what we've all noticed is that it's just that lack of urgency from the first whistle in games. And I think that's why the Villarreal performance went the way it did. I don't know if these guys know that we need to win these games. Again, we've seen a few good results, but and like Zippy said, I'm happy that we didn't make Conference League because it would have been one of those things that could plaster over the negativity at the club and the bad performances at the club at the moment. So I really think that the consistency and the playing with your heart out from the first whistle needs to be addressed this summer. I don't know how that's going to be addressed by the manager. But yeah, that's one of the things that does need to be addressed this summer.
Yaaseen, I've heard commentator after commentator, former footballers, some of them, keep saying that sorting out the Arsenal is going to take time. And they mentioned 3 to 5 seasons. Do you think that Arsenal fans can wait that long? Do you think it's necessary for us to wait that long for decent results?
I don't think we really have an option. Judging by the way things have went, looking at last season and this season's results, we definitely in a period of rebuilding. And Rome wasn't built in a day, so I feel like we're gonna have to take small steps. Next season Europa League or next season in FA Cup, because I honestly I can't see us challenging for the title next season with maybe 1 or 2 or 3 changes. I feel like we maybe. First of all, I'm a theater out, so that's I see that as the main change that we need to make. But I don't know. Back with Mane, I think maybe I'd say give it 2 seasons and we'd be back in the Champions League if he gets the right funding.
Okay, Alex, I'm gonna give you a tough one. Okay, just before we do that, we just have to share something that Alex has finally got a prediction right. I just want to. Here we go. I just want to share this quickly. These were some of the predictions for this game. Again, most people thought we'd win. Not everyone was confident we'd win by much. Naseem, I don't know. You're gonna have to explain the 5-1. Alex, the 2-0. Explain the logic. Is it because you just like the number, or do you think that that's the best that Arsenal currently is capable of?
That's a tricky question. It's because I don't like change. 2-0.
Says the man who just moved. Says the man who's just moved, but is yet to paint his room, I suppose.
Yeah, that is true. It's still sort of slightly pink, unfortunately.
So,
yeah, I don't know. 2-0. I don't know. I have some fond memories of like 2-0 scorelines with Arsenal. The FA Cup final against Chelsea in 2002, the FA Cup final against Newcastle in '98. It's nice 2-0 wins. I don't know, 2-0 just sits nicely with me. If I'd have known that we were going to play like really boring football for most of the season, I probably would have gone with 1-0s instead. But the 2-0's kind of like it's nice, isn't it? It's a clean sheet. It's a couple of goals. It's good.
So I thought there was some kind of science to it, that you looked at this Arsenal side and figured,
the science of it is if I keep picking 2-0 long enough, eventually I'm going to be right.
I assume that's the same logic you use with your lotto tickets.
It's something like that, yeah.
You just have to wait. Warren, where's Warren gone? Have we lost Warren?
Yeah.
Where's he gone?
Yes. Internet problems.
Connection issues, I think.
Okay, we've lost Warren. Wolfie, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Wolfie, I'm going to make a comment now. I'm going to make a comment now, and you're going to tell me what the silly man I am. Arsenal, and we've had this conversation before. Arsenal is a very average team. We've had two good periods in our lifetime, in the 130 or so years. We were top in the 1930s. In the 1930s, we outspent every other club, famously. And then we had Wenger. Every other period beyond that, we have been average. Why would someone like Mark say that we can't wait long? We need positive reactions. Why do we keep thinking that we are a top 4 team by nature? What spoiled us? Is it Wenger?
It is Wenger, as Naseem said. It is Wenger. He did it for about 20 years. I mean, even in his dog days, we were still hitting teams for 4-5-0. So it is Wenger. But look, we are a huge club in London. I mean, Alex knows these things. We are a huge club.
By what measure?
We are better. Our history will tell us that we are better than Chelsea. Our history will tell us that we're much better than Spurs. So as far as London, I mean, and also worldwide, I mean, if you look at supporters wise, it's like Man United, Liverpool, and then you'll get Arsenal supporters. So we will always like be the third ranked biggest club in the world, Arsenal Football Club.
Okay, I'm going
Look,
to show you.
a lot of
Wolfie, I want you to continue with that answer. I just want to show you the 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s. We won no league championship at all. And then things changed in the 1990s when we got a certain Wenger on board. So tell me again, why are we being so impatient?
Look, I told my son earlier, I told him, if you look at the league, if you look at this, the log, if you look at the log now, it was simple mistakes. It was simple team selection, poor management. It cost us. I mean, the only team that capitalized on everyone's mistakes was Man City, and also well done to them for winning the league. But they were the only team that capitalized on bad runs from other clubs. I mean, like Liverpool, they were so poor. They had the same run that we had now the last 7 games, and that's what got them into the Champions League. And if you look at Arsenal, if we look at our home form, if we turned a couple of L's to W's, if we managed 3 wins instead of the 3 defeats at home, defeats against poor Everton, defeats against Aston Villa, the draw against West Ham, all those kind of small, it's fine margins. Football is about fine margins, and if we won those kind of games, it's 3 wins. We would have been in the Champions League now. We would have been praising Arteta now today if we managed to pick up 9 points. We'd have been in the Champions League. So it's fine margins. It's fine margins. And Arteta got it wrong because of his experience this season. He got it wrong because of his experience. I do believe a manager of experience would have taken the same team, crop of players, and you would have capitalized on all the other clubs' mistakes and bad form, and somehow we would have maybe just nipped a 4th spot. That is my 100% view on the season.
Okay, I'm happy that no one has said Arteta out yet. Lameez, I just want to ask you something here. That there's another Yaaseen, and it seems they have similar hairstyles. I don't know if the Yaaseens of the world have some sort of Yaaseen. You must explain if you guys have some sort of club. And you all go to the same hairstylist. I don't know how that works. Do you think that? But Yaaseen Mulwood mentions here that he kind of hints that maybe there's something good that's come out of the season. We can now focus on the league and the FA Cup rather than having to worry playing midweek games. Do you think? I mean, the fact that we're out of Europe first time in like 25 seasons, does that hurt or offend you?
No. I suppose just based on like Warren started out by saying how badly we did in that semi, and I don't think, besides the humiliation part, if you look at the depth in terms of our squad itself, let's say we take the same team into the new season, I can't actually see us. I can't see us having done any better anyway, because that is the biggest issue, is the lack of depth. I mean, we had, I think it was at the semi-final we started with no strikers, if I remember correctly. I do try and forget, but no, I'm not awfully unhappy. I actually agree with the other Yaaseen.
Okay.
In terms of his sentiment, definitely.
Okay. Yaaseen, next season, where do you want us to go? Top 4? Or can we just qualify for Europa League? Would that be satisfying enough?
I feel like, a qualification for Europa League would be a step up and a step in the right direction. Honestly, I can't see us going for Champions League. But Europa League qualification would be a step in the right direction. Maybe getting an FA Cup, since we love getting the FA Cup. That would always help.
How about the League Cup?
We'll take it. We'll take that also. I mean, it's not really one that the fans will go crazy about, but a trophy is a trophy. So we'll take it. But I just want to see improvements, honestly, because talking to my friends and it's tough being an Arsenal fan and having friends that are Liverpool fans, that are United fans. Everybody's above you. Everybody's just looking down on me right now, and I don't like it here. I wanna be looking down on them. So
are they not inviting you to campus parties anymore and stuff like that?
No, not any. I'm not with the cool kids anymore. I'm now with the mid-table teams.
Are you not getting any right swipes on Tinder either? If all these things fallen apart.
I've taken down all of my pictures with Arsenal shirts off Tinder. not getting me anywhere anymore.
Chezlin, your household, your father is not renowned for a man who sees the sunny side up or the glass half full. Can you give us a little insight as to what his thoughts are at the moment? And I usually thought that you and your father disagree, but I've now sensed that father and son are one.
Well, to a certain extent, we do still disagree. I think he's just really disappointed with the way that Arsenal have been playing. I think a lot of if I look at him, when he started watching Arsenal, they were, like you said, they were quite average, but they were guys who played with their hearts every single game. They would lose 1-0, but you knew that they were going to kick the opposition striker if they tried to get past them again after scoring. We don't see that. We don't really see that with Arsenal anymore. So I can understand his frustration when he says that these guys don't have any passion. Because I agree. They look down, and I think that's one of the things that needs to come back. They need to be reminded of the fact that we are the Arsenal. And going back to the question that you asked, Wolf, I do think that we are a big club. I do think that we deserve to be up there.
No one has convinced me yet, so you convince me why we deserve to be up there, other than getting Wenger back in. Why do we deserve?
You can apply that same logic to every other team. If you look at United before the 90s, I think they only won about 4 or 5 league titles from 1991 until 2013. I think they won 13 league titles. So that's also the same period that applies to them. City's currently in a period where they're winning a lot of titles. Liverpool were extremely good last season, but take away the 80s, Liverpool were also not the best. So Arsenal had a good 2 decades, and I think that we're the only. I think Charlton put it on his. Charlton commented that we've been second on the table over the last 24 years. I think that we've just been consistent without having the funds that the other teams have had. Yes, we've been poor over the last few seasons, but also we haven't spent that oil and Russian mafia money. And we've still been consistent. We've still been, not being consistent. We've been bad, but we've still been close to being up there. So I firmly believe if we had that same investment that the other clubs had, we'd be winning the league. But we haven't had that. So yeah, okay. I'm interested to see if anyone else agrees or disagrees with me.
Does anybody want to agree or disagree with?
Yeah, well, I was going to back him up with your silly comment about we're not a big club. We've only had the cities and we only had the 90s, and you have to apply that logic to all clubs. That means United is not a big club because they were shit before Ferguson. Liverpool has been shit for the past 30 years.
The record might beg to differ, but continue. I'm willing to be proven wrong.
Liverpool's been crap before they won the league. They haven't won the league for 30 years. I mean, with the other night we won here, I mean, it says league titles shows improvement. So, yes, Liverpool won the Champions League here and there, but the league titles what everybody wants. I mean, for example, before today's game, if I told you, okay, we're not going to make conference, and we're not going to end up with Tottenham, but we're going to win the league next year, you take that any day of the week because you want to win the league. That shows consistency. That shows who the best club is in the country. They don't say who the best club is in the country if they won the FA Cup or anything else. You win the league, that's the best club in the country. and all teams go through that bad patch, I guess. I mean, we've been through it in the 70s and the 80s, and we bounced back
The
and
60s
won a
and the
couple.
50s, and the 60s and the 50s and the 20s and the 10s.
Yeah, in the 60s and the 50s. Yeah, but I mean, did you know that United had a 50-year gap where they didn't win the league, or 40 years? There was a period where United didn't win the league for 40 years. I don't think we have to wait that long.
No, I think I'm obviously playing a bit devil's advocate, but I do want to point out that they've probably finished around the top over the past couple of seasons. We have traditionally been middle of the log kind of team.
Yeah, but for the past 25 years, we've been up there.
I want to...
With the best of them. With no oil money, with no Russian money, with nothing. We've just been up there. Arsenal is a big club. I mean, you just have to look at the fan base itself. We're up there with the Uniteds and the Liverpools. Chelsea and Manchester City don't count because they're crap. But yeah, when you talk about big clubs and fan base, it's Arsenal, Liverpool, United when it comes to England. And I disagree with you saying that we are average club.
Okay.
You're smoking some stuff.
That's what you're supposed to do. Okay.
Morgan,
I want to talk.
Morgan, can I ask you a question?
Will you ask me a
Can
question?
I ask you a question?
Yes, you
So I
can.
think Sophie alluded to it a little bit, but what I'd love to know from you is if we had an experienced manager with the same squad, do you think we would have finished in the same position? So let's say we had a Pep, or let's say we had a Klopp. Do you think we would have finished in the same
win the league?
I think. Sorry, I'm going to put myself here on screen now with my fancy new camera and my sexy dungeon lighting. If you hear people screaming in the background, it's because they're working and not because they been captured, held ransom. I think if we had a different manager, a more experienced manager like Pep or Klopp, or Bielsa, we would have finished 6th or 5th. My logic is these days in modern football, the guys on top are the guys who spend money. And just in case somebody points out again that Leicester doesn't spend money, Leicester have spent a damn lot of money. I spent a load of money. They have a very rich patron who has invested heavily in the club. Maybe not as much as Man City or as Man United, but they haven't been holding back. And the only way I imagine Arsenal becoming a club of contention again, a league-winning club, is if we start spending big. That, for me, is the way modern football works. We've seen it in Germany, where Bayern outspend the other team substantially. Well, we used to see it in Spain until yesterday, when Atletico Madrid kind of took the title from the guys who used to spend big, but maybe I'm not sure how they're spending their money these days. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about this guy. Lameez, did I answer the question? I've been asked to leave the.
Just tell me about Europa, though. Okay,
I've been asked to leave
Tell me
the.
about Europa.
I've been asked to leave the History Channel alone.
This lady's spot on. Yeah, spot on.
I happen to like the History Channel. I do not know who Romania Kirsten Sami is, but
guys are by Facebook. I don't have no clue who the guys, but he's correct. He's correct. Tell me, so you saying with a guy like Pep? So you trying to tell me that with a guy like Pep at Arsenal, he's only better. Just give me a second.
No.
What was
Pep no money?
The point? Yeah, no, Pep at Arsenal with the same team. Yes. Are you telling me the difference between Pep and Arteta is one win away? Because you're telling me we will. Hold on. You said we'll end up at 5th. You just said it now, right?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Now, what was the points difference between 5th and where we lying now? You got this. You got the log there. What's the points difference?
3 points.
5 points.
3 or 4 points.
Now, are you telling me? So, are you telling me Pep is 5 points better than Arteta with this team?
Yes.
Are you crazy? Are you crazy?
No.
Morgan is smoking something.
Are you going to let me answer? Are you going to let me answer?
Lameez asked me that question.
No. Here we go. Here's the answer. We have no track record. We have absolutely no track record of Pep managing a club without throwing money at the club. We have no track record of it.
The question is not about money. The question is, do you think Pep would have got us into the Champions League spot?
No. I'm saying we do not know how Pep performs. We have no measure. We have no scientific historical measure of how Pep performs without money. Pep, we know, is an exceptional manager, but he is an exceptional manager with money. I do not know. He could probably take us to the top. I do not think that history supports an argument. We don't know what he does without money. We only know what he does with money. And what he does with money, he did it at Bayern, he did it at Barcelona, where he just happened to have probably arguably the top player in the world. And what he's done at Man City, all we know is when Pep manages, he spends a lot of money. We don't know what happens, what Pep can do without money. And I could be very wrong. I'm more than willing to be wrong. I'm saying we have no basis on which to make that point. We have no foundation on which to make that point. Disagree with me, anyone?
Experience. I'm going to tell you one thing.
What?
I can tell you one thing.
Wait, I'm going to give Alex a chance. Alex has been very quiet tonight.
You give me a chance because he agrees with you. Come on!
How can you say that Pep would do any good with a club that's got no money?
No, hold on. The question was simple. The question was simple. The question was,
a simple answer.
Do you think...
I said 5 points. I said
5 points! This guy's had hypertension pillies. I thought, come on, man.
Alex,
come on, man. My gosh.
I have 5 people who disagree
My gosh, man.
I have 5 people who made it clear they disagree with me. Can we give one person a chance who says you may agree with me?
That guy's been on Twitter out for the last 8 weeks with me. The guy sitting with a red sweater on Twitter out. Now I don't understand. Hey, my word.
Pep has no track record with any teams that don't spend big. So, I mean, you are right. Whether he would have gotten us more points, no one knows that because he's only had the best possible squads in pretty much the world available to him at any time.
Okay, so, so I just have a couple of more people who have agreed with me. And again, we may not be right. We don't have an alternate universe. We will create an alternate universe where we give Pep a team with no money and say, Pep, show us what you can do. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Pepe's performances. Is this a player that we want to keep now, considering that he's been scoring kind of, what did he score? 4 goals over 2 games?
No, the guy's 7 goals in 7 games.
7
That's
goals.
what the commentators.
Him and Warlock, I just believe
scored again today.
Scored again, yeah. So he's got 7 out of 7. So is Pepe finally proving his label? Is he finally?
He needs to carry it over. He needs to carry it over to next season. I mean, Jeremy might think I'm going back on my words saying that Pepe is shit, but he hasn't proven himself yet. He's always showed glimpses, and early on the season he did start showing glimpses, and then Arteta dropped him for some stupid reason. And so if he can carry it through to next season and show the same form across the whole season next year, then obviously, I mean, he's an Arsenal player, and I don't want him not to do well. I want him to do well. I want him to prove that he's worth the 70 million we spent on him. So yes, he's doing well. I mean, he's scoring goals, and that's all we can ask from him, mate.
Morgan, you are extremely good with putting up stats for no reason. But please, is it no way? Just give me a second. No. Is it no way? Look, you're extremely good. Is there no way you can get a stat of this lad's performances last season and this season? Just so we can have a fair judgment on the lad, assists and goals.
Yes.
What is the lad did last season, this season? I'd like to see that.
My graphics team has gone home, unfortunately.
Get somebody out of your cave in the back. Somebody that's crying out of your cave, get that person coming.
Does anybody know off then?
Yeah, he scored 5 last season.
Who's this?
And
Scored 5, 6 assists.
Six assists. This season?
10
10 and 1 assist. 1 assist.
10 goals. The guy double figures. I mean, that's a good improvement.
He needs to put up the assist now. I mean, he needs to score at least 15 goals or 15 goals and 15 assists, basically. That's what I said the other night as well. He needs to put that number to 15.
In fairness, Arteta hasn't played him much this season, beginning of the season.
Yeah, I get that. But that number has to come up.
Yeah, he only started playing him the latter part of the season. The first half of the season, Arteta never played him.
I mean, put it this way, the season. Yeah.
Sorry?
The season before he came.
Should Arteta take some credit here, as Charlie suggests?
Yeah, well, he wasn't great part of the season, was he? He wasn't great the previous season either. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe he's starting to use his right foot more, isn't he? That's a major improvement. When he first got here, he could literally only use his left foot. It's a bit like Odegaard. Who knows? If Odegaard stays, maybe eventually he'll learn how to use his right foot too. But
you don't have to buy him. We can take him on loan again.
Pepe looks unpredictable though, doesn't he? Because now defenders are starting to think, well, actually, maybe he's going to go with his right foot instead. Maybe he's going to go around the outside, and because of that, it makes him more dangerous. And now he started shooting with his right foot as well. I mean, it's looking good for him. Has that been Arteta telling him to do that? Possibly.
Yaaseen, are we going to lose Lacazette this season? Do we need to replace him, or do we have enough of a strike force then?
I don't think we need to get rid of him. Why would we need to get rid of him? I hope he decides to stay. Again, questionable decisions from Arteta, dropping him when he's having a good run of games, when he's in good form. Don't really understand why Arteta tends to do that to our good players. But the problem was this season. The problem was us scoring goals because as the stats showed, our defense was fine. It was all right, third best. But goals, I think we only scored 50 odd goals this season. So goal scoring is the problem. And Lacazette I get a bit emotional about him because he's my favorite player currently at the squad, one of my favorite players. And I feel like he does a lot of work and he improves a lot of the players around him. I think Smith Rowe was saying he learned the most from Lacazette out in training and everything. So I think we need to do all we can to hold on to the man. But again, with Arteta deciding to play Aubameyang over Lacazette, I don't know if Lacazette can just sitting there anymore, because I don't understand that one.
Chezlin, some people have suggested our problem is not that our strikers can't score, but is that our midfielders aren't scoring enough or more.
Yeah.
Enough or more. So today with Odegaard, who started again in that number 10 position, what happens should he leave?
So I'm going to agree with Naseem here. I think Bundia from Norwich is somebody that we need to prioritize. I think we knew it when the season started, when Usama War was one of the players that we were trying to get in. We knew that creativity was going to be an issue. And unfortunately, it was a transfer that we didn't get over the line. So I'm hoping that it's going to be, we're going to take some very decisive action in the transfer window, very early decisive action. We need to get a creative midfielder in as soon as we can. If it's going to be Odegaard that stays, then we need to sign him. Or if it's another season on loan, so be it. I would prefer that it's not, because I think these loan players play well for a few games and then their hearts aren't there. So I think we need to we need to get somebody who's going to be in there, who's going to play for Arsenal for the next few seasons. But yeah, I think that it's something that we need to address off the bat once the transfer window starts. And I think we'll score much more goals then.
Okay. Guys, it's 9 o'clock on a Sunday evening. I have to go find some rolls at the bakery still. Is that what you do nowadays? Yeah. So I want to ask Lameez, I was going to ask for last comments.
Yes, man. And I was going to ask if everybody could also actually predict where they think we'll end next season. And I'd like us to actually bank that and pull it out. And Alex, it can't be 2-0, right? I think it would be good if we can bank that. Because I must say, Wolfie, I really liked your comment about saying like just those 3 games and what a different season it could have been. That's quite a good point actually. That the margins are so fine. I think, Morgan, if we could do that, like just closing, I'd love to hear the position prediction.
We are recording this, so we still have access to it. We can go over it again and next year, this time, we can hold it up in front of people and smack them with it. But while you answer that question, also kind of consider Charlton's comment, because I know you guys are going to say this depends on all kinds of permutations, how many players we lose, how many players come in. But then put a number on the number of players. You don't have to mention players. Just put a number on players that we lose and get in, whether it's 5, 4, and then give a prediction on where do you think we're going to end up next season. And I just want to share my lovely stats again one last time. We did better this season than last season. Okay, and go. We have 5 more points this season than last season. In your face, Wolfie. So tell me when you think you're going to go. Without Pep nogal. Where do you think we're going to be and how many players in and out?
Look, as for me, our squad, there's not a lot of players to move on besides your son, Hector Berlin, and what's that other lad? What's the other lad? There's another guy that needs to leave also. Look, maybe Shaka will leave, but
you don't have to mention names, Wolfie.
We really need to get rid of at least three individuals.
Okay.
And bring in 4 or 5 players. I'll say 5 players. 5 players. If we can sign the players that, for me, like Jack Grealish, Danny Ings, Bertrand from Southampton, it's free.
And Messi's no longer happy. And Messi's no longer happy at Barca, so we can maybe
we can get him too. Yes. Yeah. Look, we can maybe. Yeah, even Kun Aguero also. I mean, the guy can also come to us. See what he knows Arteta. So look,
position Wolfie. Position.
Position will be fourth.
Okay. Any other takers for this challenge?
Yeah, I'll take it.
There we go.
Bellerin needs to go. Cedric needs to go. David Luiz has already gone. Ceballos is going to go. Lacazette, I think we should sell. Nketiah needs to go on loan. Anyway, I'm going to go with fourth.
How many? So 6 out, 4th finish.
Yeah, someone already gone anyway. I'm not sure if you can count people like David Luiz because he's already gone. Ceballos is a loan who's going to go back. Sorry, I should probably put in Ødegaard with that because I think he should go back as well.
Okay, and how many purchases do we need for the season?
We need. I'm going to say we need another right back, a versatile right back. Hakimi would be quite good. We need a cover at left back, so that's 2. We'll bring Saliba back from loan. That doesn't count. I'd say we need 2 more midfielders.
So 4.
At least probably 3 midfielders actually.
5.
And possibly another striker. Although I don't know if we're going to look at Balogun. Maybe I don't know. I think we probably should get another striker in.
I've got you down for 6 in, 6 out, 4th finish. Naseem?
Jeez. Top. Can I say top 6? At fourth, I don't know, eh? But yeah, I think the numbers.
Yes.
I'm very much with. Yeah, well, very much with Alex there. So it also provides on. Let's say he does. I think there's about 6 or 7 that needs to go, including the people that's on loan by us. And coming in would also be about 5 or 6. If he makes the correct signings, yeah, top 4 finisher. He's on the cards.
Top 4, not top. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking now if he just does the proper signings, I mean, if he gets the Grealish or the other boy, and he gets another one, another defensive midfielder, gets a clone of Tierney on the right-hand side, then yeah, top 4, very possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chezlin?
Okay, so yeah, I agree. I think we need about 6 players gone, and I think we need to match that. If 6 players go, we need to get 6 players in because strength in depth is going to be extremely important. We see now it's benefited City this season. So yeah, we need to match what we're losing, which I haven't done in the past. Where we're going to end next season, I would like to say I'm also going to go with the top 4. I'm going to go with 3rd.
Okay.
It's only because I'm silly and I'm optimistic, but yeah, we'll see.
I think the one thing that the show tonight did not have was an overdose of optimism, but nice 2 years at last. Okay,
no, we're gonna win the league, man. What you talking about?
I tell you what, if we win the league next year, no one's going to want Europa League ever, are they? It's going to be top 4 or never go in the Europa League again.
I still think us not being in Europe is going to be a good thing. I'm still.
It's not done us any favours over the past since we went out of the Champions League. The Europa League has not done us any favours at all.
Nope.
Alex, Alex, I thought you said if we win the league, you're flying us all over there to England.
Is that what I said?
Morgan, can you please note that, please, Morgan? Note it, please.
It's noted. I've got it down in the minutes for the meeting.
I'll get my passport ready again.
The same minutes where I said Pepper's only worth 5 points. Okay, Yaaseen. Yaaseen.
Yes, I agree. Like what Chezlin said, like as we need to, as the same amount of players that need to go out, need to come back in. Maybe even a little bit more need to come back in, just so we can have that extra bit of depth and extra bit of strength in the squad to mess around with.
Can you put a number? Any number?
I'm gonna say 6 out, 8 in. Strengthening the squad.
We don't have to buy any of them. We can just loan them for a bit.
And I'm gonna say we're gonna end 5th, outside of the top 4.
Okay. Lameez, you want to have a go with this as well?
Yeah. Definitely minimum 7 out. And I'm actually going to go conservatively and say 5 quality in. Like, don't go with 7 if it's crap. Just give us 5 quality in. That would be okay. And I think, I'm going to say 4th as well. Morgan?
Okay.
Yeah.
I am not nearly. I imagine about 4 out. I will take 3 midfielders to come in, and 2 midfielders, and a backup for what's his name with Tierney on the left, not Xhaka, and then I'll go with a confident 6. I think we.
Now we know the optimist is in the room.
No.
It's true, eh? His predictions is totally the opposite of what he just said, eh?
No.
Yes, like.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We go from 8 to 6, and you guys say I'm not optimistic.
His predictions has been 4-1 and 5-1 the whole season, and look at this now. Come on.
Listen here, I'm not saying we won't win a couple of games 4-1 and 5-1 on our way to 6. I'm confident we can do that. Anyway, okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, the one thing that I do worry about, because of the lack of money at the moment with Gate, we're not sure how many fans are coming back. David says it here because of Euros and the fact that we're not playing in Europe next season. So we hope that the owner will be a little generous and spend some of his baseball money. Does he manage a baseball club? He owns a couple of baseball clubs on us next season. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. We after 9 on the Sunday night. It's dark already in my room. Thank you all very much for your participation this past season. Lameez, we're going to have one final show. You can just announce there is one final show coming up.
Yeah, it's more like a party show. Let's be happy show.
And that will not include us. This could be us the way Kane. This could be our Kane show tonight. Our Kane game.
It is our Kane game.
It is our Kane game. Who's coming? Brandon and Warren will be hosting that show. We're not sure when they'll be doing it, but Brandon and Warren will be hosting that show, and then we'll see each other a few times over the season break, I'm sure, because Warren wants a couple of shows, and I hope I get invited to the panel, a substitute sometime. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a lovely, if sad, season. It's been fun chatting with you guys over the past season. And we can only hope that I'm proven wrong, that we do better. Can I just get my lens to do it? These are the predictions. I'm going to scan this document in now, and then hopefully we can do a lot better than that. Anyway, thank you guys for... Anybody want to have any final words? Don't give me the final say.
I'd like to say thank you to Lameez and Morgan for hosting a successful show. Yes, the season was a disaster, but but the shows has been fun, and I really enjoyed myself. And I want to thank all the panelists for being on the panel, sharing their views. Thanks, guys, and everything of the best for next season.
And Yaaseen and Chezlin still have a show that they're doing. Sort of.
Young Guns podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah. We'll see you next season. Hopefully we'll win. Something comes third.
We'll bring the optimism. We'll bring the optimism that show.
Carabao Cup, people. The Carabao Cup.
Just before we go, I also want to say, echo what Wolfie said, really. I know that Morgan actually puts quite a lot of effort into the prep for this show, and I don't know if people actually realise how much hard work he actually puts in. So yeah, massively appreciate all that, and I appreciate you guys having me on the show as well. Sort of token English guy.
We used a couple of tokens, yeah. There was Mark as well. No, it's quite nice to have people from the UK coming onto the show. And like tonight, we had someone like David, who hopefully will be on that final show, and to share kind of footage with us from the stadium, and to let us know kind of like 30 to 40 seconds ahead of time when Pepe scores. Yeah, that was difficult. Lameez, also, I just want to thank Lameez so much. She has made the show so much more bearable by her support every week and doing stuff that I would have had to do on my own. Lameez has been a rock for me, and whether it's just getting people to appear on the show or reminding me to share the link to the show with everyone. Otherwise, I would have been here alone every show if it wasn't for Lameez speaking to myself. Anyway, so we'll end it there without. I just want to go and then put the final bit of music on there for us to enjoy. Thank you guys for a lovely season, and hopefully Arsenal will prove me wrong next season. Here we go. Why is this thing not playing? Here we go.